My dear gamers, there's a peculiar and, to my mind, dangerous strain of individualism that permeates our culture. This is most evident in the realm of fictional heroes who, despite the chaos they unleash, are lauded for their resistance against systems of control. Case in point, Dr. Gordon Freeman, the physicist turned revolutionary in the dystopian world of City 17. While many regard him as a paragon of resilience and determination, I must, at the risk of being in the minority, dissent. Before we are tempted to sing the praises of Freeman, let's first consider the actual series of events. Upon arriving in City 17, he found himself in an environment where an alien race, the Combine, had clearly established dominance. The human race, by and large, had been subdued, a shadow of its former self. There was a system in place, however brutal, that maintained a semblance of order. Freeman, in his cavalier style, does not seek to understand this new world order. He doesn't pause to weigh the potential benefits of cooperation versus rebellion. Instead, from almost the moment of his arrival, he embarks on a violent campaign against the Combine forces and, by proxy, the stability of City 17. Why? Because of a stubborn allegiance to an old world that no longer exists. Now, I'm by no means a blind supporter of totalitarian regimes, but I am an advocate for pragmatic decision-making. The question that begs asking is, would the human race in City 17 have been better off had Freeman simply turned himself over to civil protection upon his arrival? I dare say yes. By choosing the path of violence, Freeman unleashed a chain of events that led to greater suffering for the very people he purported to help. The resultant destruction, death, and further clampdowns by the Combine made life significantly more challenging for City 17's denizens. There's an old saying that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. One might argue that Freeman's journey through City 17 was a vivid demonstration of this aphorism. Civilization, at its core, rests on a foundation of order. When that order is disrupted, particularly in such a volatile environment, the aftermath is seldom in favor of the ordinary citizens. For all the heroic skirmishes Freeman was involved in, one must tally the cost to the human race, and it's a hefty one. Furthermore, there's the matter of Freeman's silent demeanor. This man who so fiercely and impulsively combats the alien oppressors never once verbalizes his intentions or justifications. He becomes an avatar for unbridled action without reflection. And while many may see this silence as a mark of stoicism, I see it as a symptom of thoughtlessness. His refusal to turn himself into civil protection could have served as a platform for dialogue and negotiation. History has shown us that change, even against the most oppressive regimes, can come from within. By engaging with the system, Freeman could have worked to better the conditions for humanity in City 17. Instead, his resistance resulted in more surveillance, more brutality, and a populace living in even greater fear. While Gordon Freeman might be hailed as a savior by many, a closer examination brings forth a different narrative, one not so much in his favor. Rebellion, for rebellion's sake, is not always the path to liberation. Sometimes it merely paves the way for greater devastation. City 17 deserved a hero, yes, but perhaps in a more ironic twist of fate, Freeman might have found his true calling as a transhuman stalker. Can you not see it? Dr. Freeman, with peg legs and all, serving as a symbol of adaptation and surrender to the new world order. A bridge, if you will, between the old world and the new. As always, we must endeavor to separate the myth from the man and be cautious of the narratives we hold dear, lest they distract us from a reality more complex and multifaceted than we care to admit.